It seems that this year, German dance artists have dominated the pop charts and the underground clubs on a scale not seen since Boney M and the Munich Disco Revolution. Well, we begin the first of 4 reports with a biblical allegory of the evolution of German dance. If the history of German dance music could be compared to the book of Genesis, then on the 7th day God had twins, and their names were Westbam and Salvaged.
We started this thing like in '87, and there wasn't really an underground scene or a house scene. There were no ravers and nothing, you know. So it seemed to happen around us, but we were always rather isolated. And you know, I don't see myself so much as the godfather of all these kids.
And Westbam created German Techno, and Salvaged created hardcore German Techno.
Hardcore ist a state of mind. Das ist eine Sache, das ist eine innerliche Einstellung und das hat überhaupt nichts mit Geschwindigkeit oder mit Geräuschen zu tun.
These forefathers had to fight many hard battles against the prejudice of America and Britain.
When they promoted our first record that we released in England, they had like Hitler smileys. The English company invented that. So I guess that's a bit of a cliche.
Many summers passed, the earth revolved a few times, and techno begat trance.
Indian culture used this trance sound many years ago, and they put each other just with simple sounds, with like drums, bells, shakers, put each other just with music in trance. Every native culture have used this kind of music in South Africa, Australia. I think maybe the Germans 1,000 years ago, they have the same kind of music.
Now, in the popular imagination, techno is made by pushing one button on a computer. Well, the truth is more complex. Dance music producers have hundreds of buttons and scores of computers, sequencers and other strange musical machines to choose from. And in the second of our reports on German dance music, top DJ producers Jam-El-Mar and Westbam take us into their studios, and they show us how to make German techno.
Modern technology in every household is housemates, building and kitchen motors.
Das kann man doch nicht filmen, das Problem hat ein Neues. Das kann man wirklich gar nicht. Das ist ja auch dieses Ganze, warum man immer diese tollen Videos drehen muss mit 100.000 Tänzern oder so. Die Wahrheit ist einfach zu langweilig.
The first very important thing is to load the song, otherwise you won't hear anything. And this is load song.
How you do a record. First, you need a sound.
Nowadays you get ideas just with the sound. You play, you have on your keyboard, you have a certain type of sound that is very
Strong.
Dominant. And out of this sound you create something which is like the backbone of your whole song structure.
I'm working on this new single here. Just another 2 years and it will be ready.
We start with a bass drum. Bass drum. Bass drum. This is bass drum. This is the peak, very important. 5 years ago the beats were about 114, 115, and now we are at 140 or something, and even in hard house or some other styles it's even more. I think the connection is the bass drum.
Boom, boom, boom. Klaus came up with the following melody. Can you still play it?
No, I have to.
He has to check it out because, you know, we're both not keyboarders. He's even worse, and I'm worse than him, but
Oh,
and then?
How did it go on?
We go on with this one. Give some sort of speed to the playback.
Maybe you need a bass now. Very simple bass line.
And then hi-hat, very important. Okay.
And then you just have to find different things to add to it. A hi-hat, maybe a break loop, or an additional melody?
I very often use these kind of loops, which put some dirt to the playback and some groove. And of course, it's also possible to equalize. That means to adjust the sound. So I want to take off some of the bass frequencies and add some of the treble.
You take a keyboard sound and then you see all these little things. You can change them around and make, oh no, at the moment you can't. But anyway. See, that sounds different now.
Warte mal. Okay, ich habe mich etwas vertan.
So this is the technology these days is still quite primitive. That's why we have to go to a studio and not work in a forest or anywhere else. You know, it's especially sad if the weather is nice.
And then I have a sequencer sound. Techno.
Good effect. This was our man over here playing the keyboard. You always tend to have too much in a track, so you tend to add and add and add, and then in the end you have to find the 4, 5, 6 sounds that really work together and subtract all the rest. So the work of production is really reduced.